Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your Wednesday? That means hump day. And as always, we here at the Tom Gully Show hope you are receiving the full, total, and complete amount of hump that you so desperately crave and you so rightfully deserve. Please, if you could right now, it's, it don't cost nothing. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell, all those things that are free that serve the algorithm, the almighty, all-powerful, all-seeing algorithm. And we have super chats and memberships. You can avail yourselves of those if you want. We do have a nightly goal, a monetary goal, and it is any amount of money. And then also, people do gift around here, around these parts. So if you turn on your gifted memberships, maybe someone will bestow you with a gifted membership. You might want to do that this week. Saturday, we are doing a members-only show, and we're going to do Pearl Harbor, and that will contain an overrated, underrated for Pearl Harbor. Of course, overrated, underrated, the internet sensation that's sweeping the nation. And you can only find it here on the Tom Gully Show. Let's see what else we got going on here. Hey, we had a great show last night, I thought. The internet thought differently. Oh, dear. It was about the Weather Underground. Radical, militant college students blowing up buildings. Government buildings, as a matter of fact. They was serious. Upcoming topics on this program will be Section 230, Dan Rather, Terry Garr, the Fairness Doctrine, Pop the Balloon. You guys are going to be into what that is. The Stockholm Syndrome, Joy Buzzer, Wonder Bra, Texas Roadhouse, an adult film star whose name shall remain anonymous till I get a hold of her and get her to agree. Nicholas Rowe, prisoner in Vietnam for 5 solid years. Gertrude Stein, Elephants. We already did Pie. Soul Train, Cracker Jack, The Anarchist Cookbook, Burkas, Stan Rogers, Rita McNeil. We're doing Lawrence Welk tonight. Fred Hampton, COINTELPRO, and then very special coming up during the holiday season. We will do It's a Wonderful Life, and my very special guest star for that episode will be none other than the Reverend Bob Levy. Other guests coming up include Metal Maiden Vicky from Sonic Asylum Radio's of Metal Maiden Vicky's Metal Euphoria. Ed Robertson, who I'm not going to pick the book up and show it to you again, but I'm in the introduction, quoted for quite a while. Russell Alexander from the Hitman Blues Band, the Hitman himself, and Cass Haley, my very good friend, that's now a very famous musician and was second on the first season of America's Got Talent. So what else we got here? Jim Fanning has joined us, says just stepping by to hit that like button. Hey, man, we'll take it. Anything. We'll take anything we can get at this point. You would too if you were me. Brian Kowalczyk, I'd like to point out, is here. He's shouting out from the 972. I'm technically not even 214. I've got an old phone number, but anyway, Rumpled Trenchcoat is here. Always glad to see him. And other people. Now, I want to show you something here because SG Fanboy, the living legend, has been at work. If you do recall, and I know you do, last night I had a mugshot of Bernadine Doran from the Weather Underground behind me, and SG Fanboy chose to put my face on her head, and so there's that. Yeah. Let's see. John's Ear Mites, one of my favorite screen names ever. Tom Gully, my man. My man. And then there's another thing I have to show you that Terry Nee did. Now, Terry Nee has, on more than one occasion, done this, where he's created something really cool. But see, I can't really give you the full impact of it because it's got copyrighted music on it. However, this one is so good, I'm going to turn the music off and show it to you anyway, because it's extremely funny and, of course, makes me look like a fool. And I know that's what you guys want, really, more than anything. I know that's the main goal here is for me to look like a real renob, as we used to say back in the day. Okay, now how do I turn this sound off without... Emotion. Hopefully they don't send me to hell for that. All right, let me share the screen, and then I'll show you this deal that he did. Then I'll show you what he done did, and you're going to like it. You're so going to like it. You're so going to like it. I swear to God, you're going to like this. Let me share the screen. Get that going. And then I'll blow this sucker up. All right, here we go. Now I've turned the sound off so as not to violate any copyright laws, but I think you'll all agree this is he took what SG did and ran with it. It's me singing. There I am singing both lines. That don't look half bad, really. If I became a singer, I might do that. Anyway, Terry's done many of these, but some of them I haven't shown you just because but he's a talented man. Everybody loves Terry Nee. Everybody loves that Terry Nee. My good friend, Terry Nee. Let's see. I think we've got some more. There he is. There he is right there. SG Fanboy, the living legend. Jim Fenix. I'll keep you on the TV. That's where I belong with the sound down. Rumple Trenchcoat says, the one in profile looks like it should be in the Natural Museum of History. Yes, it does. Rumple Trenchcoat says, hi, there's my good friend from... Well, I'm not going to dox her, but hey, Virgo, how you doing? How you doing? Doc Dorn says, there he is, the actual most interesting guy in the world. He's hip, he's happening, he's stone green, and he's the one and only Tom Gully. Thank you, Doc Dorn. You always give me a better introduction than anybody. People saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet. Is verified by independent sources. The Doc Dorn is saying hi to people. People saying hi. People saying hi. I should have copyrighted people saying hi. People saying hi, people saying hi, people saying hi. It's easy. It rolls off the tongue. It sounds cool. Mm-hmm. Whoa. All right. SG Fanboy is saluting someone else. What do we got here on time? I got a couple more minutes. Tonight we're doing Lawrence Welk. And for those of you not old enough to remember Lawrence Welk, I don't know if it's still on PBS. I mean, when it was running on PBS some 40 years after it was on, it was still the most popular show on PBS. It didn't air on PBS back in the day, but it is the squarest, most white culture thing I can imagine. If somebody said, what is sort of whiteness about, it would be the Lawrence Welk Show. It is the unhippest show you will ever see in your life. My grandparents liked it. It was, we'll get to it, but I'm just warning you. Oh, by the way, here's Lawrence. There he is. He's a guy that sort of had a real funny voice, and he played the accordion, amongst other instruments, but he was mostly a band leader. And his music was champagne and bubbles. Champagne and bubbles. And now in our spotlight dance, here's Bobby and the Sissy doing the tango in a Halloween motif. We'll get to all that. Everybody just chill out. I got another 55 minutes to kill here. And then I have to drive my car in the rain. It's hopefully going to be not raining. But anyway, that's what we've got going on here. That's what we're dealing with tonight. I'm dealing with a lot of crap, okay? A lot of crap. Oh, also want to say hello to all my good friends at the Pod Awful cult. If you go to Pod Awful on YouTube, H2BH, which stands for Happy to Be Here, you really need to join the cult. You super need to join the cult. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, for the bubble machine. Yeah, there would be bubbles coming up in the background. And by the way, Rumpled Trenchcoat, thank you so much for the $2. Very, very kind of you. You've been so good to this program. So good. So very, very good. Anyway, that's what's going on. That's some good stuff. Anything else here I was going to tell people? I don't think so. I think that's all. Wait. I did write something at the bottom of a piece of paper the other day. I don't know if it was important, but in retrospect, who cares? Who cares? And my name is Myron. Whoops, sorry. Myron Flor. That right there. Wait, there. This name in the corner, Myron Florin Jr. Myron Florin, at the time, was the world's greatest accordion player, which is kind of like being the best hockey player in Ecuador. I mean, it's an accomplishment, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's had an argument with a guy on a streaming platform today. And it was a kid in his early 20s. And boy, did he have the world solved. Turns out he only has relationships with ladies by paying for them. In other words, he goes to escorts or ladies of the evening, harlots, strumpets, women of the night, prostitutes, I suppose would be an accurate term, hua, as they say on the East Coast. But that's the only way you can have sex, is to do that. And he's calling everyone else a loser because, you know, a lot of us don't do that. And it was difficult for me to explain to him, you know, as you get older, you'll find out that people with lots of achievements in life and a track record of, you know, success, and also this good looking. Your looks, you know, if you're in shape and you're 6'5", I mean, I don't have any problem. And then I had to point out to him, there's a lot of girls your age, if Brad Pitt walked in, or even a guy that just looked like Brad Pitt. And he was, but I was able to tell him, look, you got no riz. I laid it on him like that. I said, look, you got no riz. I may have said MFer after that. I can't recall. Just for effect, you know, I like to street it up a little bit for the kids once in a while. Anyway, Dr. Horn says, yay, Bubbles. Wait, not the dancer? Damn. Just so you know, Dr. Horn, Bubbles, likely not her real name. I don't go to strip clubs. I haven't been probably in ages. And, but you know, when you're a guy, you get drugged there for certain things, you know, bachelor's parties or whatever it is. So I went to one, and we're sitting in one of those little circle things off to the side, just, you know, chairs and a little table in the middle. And these dancers, exotic dancers, adult entertainers came over, and first one came over to me and said, hi, I'm Jasmine. And I went, hi, I'm Tawny. You're not Jasmine. Don't start with me. Don't start. I'm Mahogany. I'm Stormy. Yeah, sure you are. Sure you are. I don't care what your name is. We didn't come here for the ladies' names. That was not one of the reasons we came here. The doctor says, but he did. Tom did add MFer to the end of his sentence. Were you there? I'm not accusing you. I mean, I'm not upset either way. I was like, I didn't know you were there, but I did. He also didn't like that. You're old. You're just so old. You don't really get it. You're old. Well, I sincerely hope that you don't get any older. Which, if you're not conceptual, means drop dead. All right. You don't... He's so mad. You got no riz. He didn't like that. It also helps when there's 10 other people in the, you know, panel that are laughing and laughing and laughing. Okay, let me cover Lawrence Welk, the dude, really fast, and then I'll tell you about the Lawrence Welk show, because they're almost the same thing, really. Okay, let's see here. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted to do. Poop. Poop. You know, sometimes. All right, there we go. So Lawrence Welk was a guy that played the accordion. Wait, let me get a picture. What am I doing here? The show, it's already, the wheels have come off the wagon here. All right. People saying hi. Oh, hey, Tom. I love that. I love that. Oh, boy. Okay, so here's Lawrence Welk. Doesn't he look wholesome? Well, he is. Uh, he was a guy that played the accordion, but he was mostly known for being a band leader and a television impresario. Yes. Basically, a guy that organizes and puts on shows and stage plays and TV shows and things. And he did the Lawrence Welk Show from 1951 to 1982, so just a little over 31 years. His music style came to be known as champagne music, and that's what it was referred to on the radio and television and live performance all over. He was born in the German-speaking community of Strasburg, North Dakota, and he was the sixth of eight children of Ludwig and Christiana Welk. Roman Catholic, what's going on today? Roman Catholic ethnic Germans who emigrated in 1892 from Odessa in the Ukraine today. He was a first cousin, once removed, of former Montana Governor Brian Schweitzer. And they lived on a homestead that's now a tourist attraction. Now, look, I know most of you aren't going to go to North Dakota. But, okay, hold on. I got to do this. I get a lot of complaints if my face isn't on the screen. There you go. Happy now? He looks a lot better when my face is next to him, doesn't he? Anyway, I know most of you won't go to North Dakota for any sort of vacation or anything like that, but I have actually been to this place. And it is a homestead in the middle of nowhere. And they spent the first winter in North Dakota, very cold, inside an upturned wagon covered in sod, which sadly is not that uncommon from North Dakota. And he left school during fourth grade to work full-time on his family's farm. He basically picked out a music career. He figured out he wanted to do it and persuaded his father to buy a mail order accordion for $400. Now, that's like $6,000 in today's money. And he promised his father that he would work on the farm till he was 21 in repayment for the accordion. Any money he made elsewhere during that time, doing farm work, performing, would go to his family. And he became an iconic figure in the German-Russian community in the northern part of the Great Plains. His success story was like the American dream. He did not learn to speak English. Get this. This guy didn't learn to speak English till he was 21, and he never felt comfortable speaking in public, but he hosted a nationally syndicated TV show. So to the day he died, his English had a very marked German accent. On his 21st birthday, I'm just going to put another picture up here for you. I think this is an early Lawrence Welk. There you go. There's the guy when he first started. How about that dude, huh? Let me see here. Let me get a couple of your comments in here. Doctrine says, funny how strippers won't tell me their real names for privacy, but they will show me their butthole for $1. It is one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? People saying hi. It's the lovely and talented Dupe. Is she here? Hey, by the way, everybody, she's not here right now. And keep a good thought for Diana O'Brien. She was in here last night, and just think of old Diana O'Brien a little bit. And she's going through a rough time, so we want to reach out to her. Rumple Trenchcoat says, "Hey, Dupa, people saying hi. People saying hi. Dupa, Dupa always makes the show better. She's like Frank's Red Hot sauce. And I mean that in only one way. When you put it on something, it makes that something better." Julian Caesar says, "I've heard of living in a trailer, but wagon is taking it to a whole nother level." You got that right. People saying hi. Rumple Trenchcoat says, "Gotta love that hair that looks like it was parted by a bullet or an arrow." He was in North Dakota. People saying hi. Julian Caesar's here. That's right. Now it's ain't no party like a Julian Caesar party, because a Julian Caesar party don't stop. So he's 21. He's made this deal with his dad, Olaf, or whoever, and he fulfilled his agreement and then left the family farm to pursue a career in music. And during the 20s, he performed with like tons and tons of bands before he formed his own orchestra. And he led big bands in North Dakota and eastern South Dakota, including, I love the both of these names, the Hotsy Totsy Boys. And now another song by the Hotsy Totsy Boys. If I ever form another band, it's either going to be called Subtle Atrocity or Hotsy Totsy Boys. And make no mistake, these boys were Hotsy Totsy. Anyway, and the Honolulu Fruit Gum Orchestra. His band was also back in the day, they'd have a station band because, they wanted live performers. It was easy to get live performers, and they had them. And it was just kind of the custom to have a live band in a station. And he was that for WNAX in Yankton, South Dakota. The Lawrence Welk Orchestra was an immediate success, and they got their own daily radio show, which went from 1927 to 1936. The radio show led to many well-paying engagements for the band throughout the Midwestern states, and in 1927, why he did this, we'll never know. He graduated from the McPhail School of Music in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So, although people, when they hear his music, it sounds almost like elevator music. It really does. It's much, better in terms of the musicianship and the fact that it's a real band doing real songs. But you would never associate it with jazz. But he did have some success recording jazz music. And, for Gannett Records, by the way, from Richmond, Indiana, Spiked Beer, doing the lowdown. Hey now, easy with the language. Ladies are present. And Smile, Darnya, Smile. In the 30s, Lawrence Welk led a traveling big band that specialized in dance tune and sweet music. This is light melodic music, and those were called sweet bands. And they were sort of a dichotomy from the hot bands. You guys have heard those big bands got the hot jazz, like Benny Goodman or Duke Ellington. So originally they went around the country by car, and they were too poor to rent rooms, so they slept and changed clothes in their cars. The term champagne music was derived from an engagement at the William Penn Hotel in Pittsburgh after a dancer referred to his band's sound as light and bubbly as champagne. So that hotel also lays claim to the original other signature element of Lawrence Welk was the bubble machine. Bubbles going off in the background the whole time they played always. All right. They went around the country, but they were really, really strong in Chicago and in Milwaukee. And in the 1940s, they had a 10-year gig at the Trianon Ballroom in Chicago, and they would draw crowds of several thousand people. This dude was popular. His orchestra also frequently performed at the Roosevelt Hotel in New York City, which is famous for something else right now. So anyway, he collaborated with Western artist Red Foley to record a version of Spade Cooley's Shame on You in 1945, and that record went to number 4 in the country. In addition to his activities as a performing artist, he edited, of course, of modern music for piano accordion. It's now legendary among accordion players. His recordings are just as successful as he was. I won't go through the whole history. But I will tell you that in 2015, Welk Music Group sold the Vanguard and Sugar Hill labels to Concord Bicycle Music while retaining ownership of most of their catalog. And then the estate licensed that catalog to Concord Music for 10 years. So there you go. The Lawrence Welk Show. I almost feel like I should go to the page for the Lawrence Welk show, but I think this will do. In 1951, Lawrence Welk, because he was this kind of dude and he was this popular and he was this talented, they moved to Los Angeles, California. Here he is with one of his performers. He would frequently begin impromptu dancing with some of his performers, and he was an interesting relationship with those who worked for him, as I will mention in just a second. Let's see here. Diana is awesome. She's nipping at the heels. She is. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, the Hotsy Totsy Boys sounds like something Zenhauser would say while impersonating stuttering John's mom. John was hanging around with all those Hotsy Totsy Boys. I made John quit hanging around and the Hotsy Totsy Boys. People saying I says Rumpled parted by a bullet. I can't unsee that. Let's see here. Doctor says in the 1930s or 1830s. Rumpled Trenchcoat says people saying hi reminds me of a Bugs Bunny cartoon. I aims to please. Bugs Bunny's high praise as well, by the way. So he goes to Los Angeles and he begins producing the Lawrence Welk Show on KTLA in Los Angeles, where it was broadcast from the Aragon Ballroom in Venice Beach. Now, it became a local hit and was picked up by ABC just 4 years later. And in 1956, he also signed with Ben Selvin of RCA for broadcast of his new Lawrence Welk Show on leading national radio networks. During its first year on the air, Welk instituted several regular features that lasted till the end of the Lawrence Welk Show, because they were squares. And once you hit a formula with squares, you don't deviate. So to make the champagne music thing work, the production crew engineered a bubble machine that spouted streams of large bubbles across the bandstand. While the bubble machine was originally made to produce soap bubbles, complaints from the band members about soapy buildups on their instruments led the machine to be reworked to produce glycerin bubbles instead. During the show's first year, the bubble machine operated continuously, with the bubbles wafting across the musicians' faces and instruments for the entire hour. Within a year, the bubble machine was retired, except for the opening and closing champagne music selections. Now, whenever the orchestra played a polka or waltz, Welk himself would dance with the band's female vocalist, the Champagne Lady. And now, here's our Champagne Lady to sing Smile, Darnia, Smile. Very square. Very square. And this was a long-standing tradition. The first Champagne Lady was the lowest best, followed during the war years by Jane Walton. This is another one of them right behind me. I can't remember her name, but by God, she was a Champagne Lady. Beginning with the Welk Show's freshman year, Welk was very careful to put current songs, in addition to traditional big band standards, into his program. So you'd this really square big band, really square. There's a Lawrence Welk song, okay? The Boyd Bennett rock and roll hit My Boy Flat Top was featured in 2 different programs, and the policy got relaxed over the next year, with new songs still being included, but now being treated as sort of a novelty. December 8th of 56, Nuttin' for Christmas was done. Elvis Presley's Don't Be Cruel was done by them. This was like earth-shattering stuff back then. And another episode, the Lennon sisters and Norma Zimmer performed the Watusi. Oh my gosh. And bass singer Larry Hooper was wearing a beatnik outfit. Honey, get over here. Lawrence Welk's doing acid. Okay. Now, these particular shows and the particular things they were doing were in, by the way, Lawrence Welk was like a pillar of industry. People would have him come out to open buildings and do things like that. But there's Larry. I know him well enough to call him Larry. It was diametrically opposed from the feel, let's just say, of American Bandstand, which was for teenagers and had all the latest acts and stuff. There was a 1971 episode of the Lawrence Welk Show, squarest show in the history of TV. And he infamously billed the Brewer and Shipley singer One Toke Over the Line as a modern spiritual. And now here's a modern spiritual. Brewer and Shipley's One Toke Over the Line. It's a definite marijuana reference. Social conservatives saw the era of that song as subversive, and it became the first casualty of an attempt by the FCC to get radio stations to ban all pro-drug songs. Later in the 70s, however, Welk's programs often featured current adult contemporary songs performed by his singers. His super square singers would sing Feelings or Love. Love will keep us together. And current songs were included up through the last year of production for the show, 1982. Whenever a Dixieland tune was scheduled, Welk harkened back to his days with the Hotsy Totsy Boys and enthusiastically led the band. Befitting the target audience, the type of music on the Lawrence Welk Show was conservative, concentrating on the popular music standards, show tunes, polkas, and novelty songs. And man, I'm going to tell you something about the Lawrence Welk Show. They loved them a polka. They couldn't get enough of a polka. They just really dug a polka. Man, if you had a polka, they'd play it for you. Beer Barrel Rat, you name it, they loves them a polka on the... Well, you got all those guys with accordions. What else are you going to do? I mean, start a rock band? Anyway, it was always delivered in a smooth, calm, good-natured, easy listening style and in a family-oriented manner, very wholesome. And now, gather the family around for Brewer and Shipley's One Toke Over the Line. Bobby, Sissy, that was, anyway, boy, I tell you what, it was on the air for 31 years. Now, Welk's musicians included accordionist Myron Florin, who, come on, man, Welk dubbed him the greatest accordion player of all time. Concert violinist Dick Kesner, the guitarist Buddy Merrill, and the New Orleans Dixieland clarinetist Pete Fountain. Pete Fountain, by the way, would be on The Tonight Show and stuff. He was that good of a clarinet player. Now, although Lawrence Welk was occasionally rumored to be tight with a buck, he paid his regular band members the very top scale. So long associations, 10 years, with the Lawrence Welk Band was very common among the regulars. For example, Myron Florin, that accordion player, he was the band's assistant conductor throughout the show's run, and he was noted for spotlighting individual members of the band. So now Myron Florin and the boys are going to do a version of Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. And they go to Myron and he'd go, this is a special arrangement today when it was done by the trumpet player there that you see. And it was very kind of like going to Grossinger's or one of the Catskills places. It was so square and so scripted, and people loved it. Loved it. He had a number of instrumental hits because instrumentals of that kind were very popular for a long time in this country. It was very, it was not uncommon to turn on popular radio and hear an instrumental, no words at all. His highest charting record was Calcutta, which was a hit in 1961. And Welk was like, I don't really care about that. But his music director, George Cates, said if Welk did not wish to record the song, he would. And Welk said, well, if it's good enough for you, George, I guess it's good enough for me. Although the rock and roll explosion of the mid-'50s had driven most older artists off the charts, Calcutta reached number one on the U.S. pop charts between February 13th and 26th, 1961. It was recorded in a single take, and the tune knocked the Shirelles, Will you still love me tomorrow? Out of the number one position. And it kept the Miracles, You Better Shop Around. You better shop around, from becoming the group's first number one hit. Holding their record at number two, it sold more than 1 million copies and was awarded a gold disc. The album Calcutta also was number one. The album's Last Date, Yellowbird, Moon River, Young World, Baby Elephant Walk, and Theme from the Brothers Grimm, produced in the early 60s, were in the Billboard Top 10. 9 more albums produced between 1956 and 1963 were in the top 20. So he was really, really good. Now, Welk was adamant on providing wholesome entertainment. Wholesome, okay? I'm talking whole, like a Norman Rockwell painting. For example, he fired Alice Lawn, at the time, the show's Champagne Lady, because he believed she was showing too much leg. Hey, too much leg? Too much leg? Are you kidding me? Somebody get on the phone to the new Too Much Leg people. There you go. There's a nice shot of the beginning of the show. Yeah, he told the audience he would not tolerate such cheesecake performances on his show, and a ton of fan mail indicated that viewers opposed her firing, so he relented and offered her job back. And she said, "Hey, Lawrence, Stugatz, huh?" You know what she really did? She said, "Cobra Kai," because that's the thing now, Cobra Kai. That's what she said. And he went, "I don't understand this reference from 25 years into the future. Champagne Lady." He then had a series of sort of short-term Champagne Ladies before Norma Zimmer became the permanent replacement. And he was highly involved in these people's lives. The people that worked with him, he was up in their... He would even arbitrate marital disputes of his performers. I'm not joking. His conservative sort of approach to music also occasionally was controversial. You know, despite the authentic New Orleans Dixieland clarinet that made him popular with the rest of the cast and with the audience, Pete Fountain left the orchestra in a dispute with Welk over adding a jazz solo to a Christmas song. So he was very stubborn about, what he wanted. Now, reflecting the controversies about the quality of his music, musical satirist Stan Freberg, known for his love of jazz, wrote and recorded a biting Welk satire called "Wonderful, Wonderful." He would always say that when a song would end, because they would end and they would have a shot of Lawrence Welk clapping and looking at them and he would go, "Wonderful, Wonderful." And Freberg impersonated Welk. It was recorded with some of Hollywood's best jazz musicians, and he mocked the accordion and the sometimes stumbling speech between songs. And you don't want Stan Freberg making fun of you. And Welk, of course, was not amused by this. And when he met Stan Freberg years later, claimed he never used the "wonderful, wonderful" term, which ironically became the title of Welk's autobiography. Despite its very, very square, uptight reputation, the Lawrence Welk Show nonetheless kept up with the times and never limited itself to strictly music of the big band era. During the 1960s and 70s, for instance, the show incorporated material by such contemporary artists as the Beatles, Burt Bacharach, Hal David, Neil Sedaka, the Everly Brothers, and Paul Williams, as well as Brewer and Shipley, and one took over the line, all arranged in a format that was easily digestible to older viewers. Originally produced in black and white in 1957, the show began being recorded on videotape, and it switched to color for the fall of the 1965 season. Now, the show was on at various times, but basically, the Lawrence Welk Show was kind of a show that floated around from Saturday nights to Sunday nights to Monday nights to Wednesday nights. But at a certain period, networks were in the process of eliminating programming that was seen as being too old for the modern TV viewer, or it didn't appeal to urban residents, or both of those things. It was the so-called rural purge that happened in the late 60s, early 70s, and the Lawrence Welk Show fit well within both of those particular designations. ABC ended the run of the Lawrence Welk Show in 1971, and Welk thanked him and the network sponsors at the end of his last network show. But guess what? The Lawrence Welk Show continued as a first-run syndicated program shown on 250 stations across the country until the final original show was produced in 1982 when Welk decided to retire. Now, while many longtime TV shows suffered a serious ratings drop during the counterculture movement of the late 1960s, hey, did you see our show about the Weather Underground yesterday? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, we're talking about hippies blowing up buildings. Lawrence Welk Show didn't neatly dovetail into that. Lawrence Welk Show survived intact and even had increased viewership during this time, even though, as you might imagine, it was mostly older viewers. I don't want to be a downer or anything, but I think we all know what that is. That means we're approaching the end of this particular segment. After retiring from the show and the road in 1982, Welk continued to air reruns of his shows, which were repackaged for syndication, and starting in 1986 for public television. He also starred in a pair of Christmas specials in 84 and 85. He was also a businessman, and subsequent to his marriage in 1930, managed a hotel, a restaurant, a music store. He involved a company called Teleclue in 1950s, which had investments in music publishing, recording, and real estate. In 1970s, he developed the Lawrence Welk Plaza, now known as 100 Wilshire Building in Santa Monica, California, 21-story high-rise. That was the former GTE building. Next to that building is the Lawrence Welk Champagne Towers, 16-story luxury apartment complex, along with the 11-story Wilshire Palisades office building. So he also had 4 design patents for a musically themed restaurant menu, an accordion-themed tray for serving food at breakfast, and an accordion-themed ashtray. He was married for 61 years until his death in 1992 to Fern Renner, with whom he had 2 daughters and a son. His son, Lawrence Welk Jr., married and divorced fellow Lawrence Welk Show performer Tanya Phelan. She was a singer that was on the show for about 11 years. His grandson, Lawrence Welk III, is a helicopter pilot who worked with Zoe Turr. Some of you may know Zoe Turr as the transgender person who threatened to send Ben Shapiro home in an ambulance on CNN panel discussion. I think Zoe Turr may have changed their identification. I'm not sure, but anyway, that's who he was. A devout Roman Catholic, Welk was a daily attender of Catholic Church. He was also a noted member of a group my grandfather belonged to, the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks. He died of pneumonia on May 17, 1992, at the age of 89 in his Santa Monica home, surrounded by his family. I can go through all of his honors. He's got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, all the other stuff that you might imagine. And there is still a live Lawrence Welk Show that makes annual concert tours across the United States and Canada, featuring remaining stars from the TV series, including Ralna English, Mary Lou Metzger, Gail Farrell, and others. So that's about all I got to tell you about the Lawrence Welk Show, except to say nothing in this article has anything about Bobby and Sissy. And Bobby and Sissy were these dancers that would always do the theme dance in the middle of the show. They never aged. They never aged. Let me see if I can find, because I can put them on screen. These people never aged. Never. Never. Sissy lives in Albuquerque. I don't know what Bobby's doing these days. Bobby Burgess and Sissy King. I don't know that they were married. Everybody thought they were married or seeing each other. But there's pictures of them from like recently. And they look exactly as they did back in the day. What's a good one? What's a good picture of these schmoes? Let's see if I've chosen wisely. That's not as good as the other one. What the hell's going on here? All right, let me share the screen with you and I'll show you. Bobby and Sissy. They always did some crazy thematic dance. It was crazy. You had to see it. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Here you go. How's that working for you, kids? Oh, I'll make it work better than that. Bam! There you go. There's Bobby and Sissy. Over to the right's probably the best one to see. But as you can see there, it's kind of a sprightly guy. And there they are in all their wacky, kooky Bobby and Sissy mayhem. Look at these kids. Look at these two crazy kids. Is there anything they can't do? Look at them. Good gravy. And now here's Bobby and Sissy for a spotlight dance. Sounds a little bit like he's a National Socialist. Anyway, that's all I have to tell you about the greatness or the terribleness of that which was the Lawrence Welk Show. Why don't we get to your comments? Oh, I could. What the hey? What the hey, kids? Let's open up the phone lines. By the way, the Wolf is here. Wolf, have you found Brad yet? Somebody from Decatur, Indiana, hammered, and I mean hammered, my website yesterday. So I thought maybe you had found him. So we got to get Brad. We got to find Brad. I can already see you guys have got some absolutely filthy things here. Now, when you call in, please keep in mind, I got to really ramble to get through all these comments. So please keep your answers to about 30 to 45 seconds. Don't make me interrupt you. Don't make me interrupt you. The whitest show ever. Oh, where did I leave off? I never know where I left off. Here we go. Dupa says, I just asked my husband his thoughts about watching Lawrence Welk. He said, oh my God, it was like having a fever. That's right. Julian Z says, she's Norma Zimmer. Rumple Trenchco says, when I was a kid for years, we'd watch Lawrence Welk for New Year's celebrations. That was the thing to do. The Wolf saying hi. People saying hi. People saying hi, Funky Bronco. People saying hi. Brad isn't answering. That son of a Wolf. I am the sort of guy that will put his number online and tell everybody to call him and look at our show. Come on, Brad. Come on, Brad. Don't make us call your workplace and pretend to be a client. Don't make me go there. I will go there. Brad. Brad. What's up? Oh, people saying hi. People saying hi, I believe. Funky Bronco says, wonder where Doc Dorn is. He was here a minute ago, man. Rumple Trench go, polka your eye. And now we'll polka your eye out. People saying hi. The Wolf says, watched classic Group C racing. Okay. Dupa says, pretty sure Tom won't mind me promoting Rumple Trenchcoat, a Columbo podcast, episode 14, Double Shock, dropped 2 days ago. I know, Dupa, we were just talking about that. Martin Landau's in it. He plays two roles. And I will, as I always do, say, Dupa's right. Watch the first couple episodes of Columbo, and then, because you can see him for free somewhere online, and then listen to the corresponding episode of Rumple Trenchcoat. Man, shit's going to blow your mind. Anyway, people saying hi. Polka in the front, champagne in the rear. That's right. Terry Nee says, and the one and the two. Terry Nee, I showed off your video that you sent me. I can't play the music because it's copyright protected, but everybody saw it, and I think that's your best one yet. It looks really great. People are laughing at Terry Nee. People saying thank you. Funky Broncos. People saying hi. Pete was my fave. You mean Pete Fountain? Clarinet player. Terry Nee says, peace, good people. Peace, good people of earth. I bid you well. I will address you again on the morrow. Great googly moogly. People saying hi. People saying hi. People saying hi. People saying hi via emojis. People saying hi. The Wolf says, I really dig Larry's community out here. Oh, yeah. Larry got a community out there. Funky Bronco. People saying, hi, Funky Bronco, once again inebriated. That's okay, Funky Bronco. We don't judge here. I do that on other shows. Rumpled Trenchcoat says he was Adamant. He does. Bobby from Bobby and says he does for all the world look like Adamant. And now you don't drink, you don't smoke. What else do you do? Here's Bobby and Sissy. And now a word from Sleepies. To avoid the nighttime of tossing and turning, here's Sleepies. Or, and now a word from our friends at Doan's Pills. They always have these not schlocky, but sort of utilitarian advertising. Julian Jesus says that Alice Lawn story is apocryphal. She quit because of the low pay. I don't know, man. I don't know. Doctrine says, too much leg, no such thing. The Warfield person says, how about sparkling cider spiked with blackberry liquor? Oh, Lawrence didn't like people drinking that liquor. Doctrine says, Wolf, all's good. What's up with you? I don't believe the low pay story. Wow. I think it was the cheesecake. Funky Bronco says, hey, Doc Torn, how's the nipper doing? Yeah, Doc Torn, how's the nipper doing? Doc Torn, here I am in the chat. Well, that's nice. Julian Jesus says, shame Welk isn't still around. I want to hear his arrangement of Master Puppets. I can just hear him. And now, sorry. And now, Myron and the boys in the band give us their rendition of Down with the Sickness. Dun 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 dun. The Wolf says, I all adrenaline after watching On Board in the 962's Porsches at Spa. Wolf likes him some car racing. Wolfie, you're drunk. No, I am not, Funky. Doctor says he's being a picky eater again. Who's being a picky eater? Okay, you guys. You will never find me drunk even after enjoying sparkling cider with blackberry liquor. Funky my nipper. Julian Caesar says he holds the world record for waltzing with the most octogenarians. You got that right. What's liquor, Wolfie? Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, hey. Funky, that is what Popcorn Sutton called moonshine. He didn't call it moonshine, he called it liquor. With 2 Ks. And the rain starts. Well, you're getting the rain we had this morning, probably. Where you at, Doc Torn? We got 2 feet of snow where I'm at. It's super icy. Funky Bronco says, I slipped walking to the liquor store today. Damn. Right outside New Orleans, Funky. Terry Nee says, they're aliens, like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, unsuspecting. You're here from one of the Masters of Affairs. Great accordionist. Yes, Virgo. He was an amazing accordionist. So is Myron Florin. Terry Nee says, too small. Sorry. The master's having another one of his affairs. Funky, make your own booze at home. Then you don't need to go to the store. You're doggone right. Teach a man to fish. Give a man a fish. Terry Nee, that's what she said. Julian Caesar says he could play Roll Out the Barrel, but not one toke over the line. Well, that's the way the world was back then. Oh, and then not just Roll Out the Barrel, but Beer Barrel. But any song that was a polka was cool. If one toke over the line was a polka, Jesus is just all right. Probably they did that one too. And now it's time to get down, get funky. The boys in the band, they're going to play Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones. I'm thinking of a line from the song. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and of fame. Anyway. Doctor being addressed by Tierney. Tierney says the goal was 8 p.m. TV after Lawrence. Gosh darn right. And in a lot of markets, hee-haw preceded the Lawrence Welk show for reasons that I still don't know. A lot of people's TVs would burn up just from the contrast of those two shows. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, call, turn on gift and memberships. Oh, yeah, by the way, like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell. To appease the algorithm, the almighty algorithm, all-knowing, all-positive. And then we do have super chats, we do have memberships, and you can avail yourselves of those. We do have a monetary goal every day of any amount of money. We've already shattered it with $2, but we would like it, if we, and then really turn on your gift of membership. Somebody may gift you one, and that's important because Saturday we're going to do a members-only show about Pearl Harbor, and that show will also contain an overrated, underrated about Pearl Harbor. Let's see. The Wolf says, I'm going to get his cell number and text him. Yes, I don't doubt the Wolf will get him. We got to find Brad. Come on, Brad. Dupa is always right. I do have to say, I don't recall Dupa ever being wrong. Great accordionist, yes. They had some really, really talented musicians on that program. Terry says, not even close. Oh, yes. It's no good without the music. It is, though. I'll play it again here if I have time. Terry is always right, and he's an angel. People saying hi. Julian says, one interesting thing about early Welk shows was that Fender Guitar would sponsor one song per show, where the young guitar guy would play a Fender Electric, usually a different model each time. Do you know who one of the guitar players on the Lawrence Welk show and in the band was? Dick Dale. Dick Dale was one of them. And not just a few times, a long time. So put that in your surf music and smoke it. Terry Nee says, I found blueberry moonshine at the Williams Grove Steam Engine and Tractor Show. So dangerous. Yeah, when you buy any alcohol near a tractor, Dupa is smiling. We love that. Doctor, I smell like very bad today. Oh, well. Terry says, well, Dupa does come here, so. Hey, I just got that. Hey, wait, hey. Where are all my haters that when I appear on other shows lose their nuggets? I don't know. They never come here. Maybe they're smarter than I gave them credit for. Dupa says, I'm a proud member of the Williams Grove Historical Steam Engine Association Incorporated. Yes! Laughing. Terry says, not Dick Dale. Yes, Dick Dale. I don't know if you're being facetious or not, but Dick Dale is a legend. Doctor says, mead is better than moonshine. Uh-oh. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. All right, I'm going to close the phone lines. Phone lines are pretty much useless. Useless, I say. Anyway, like I said, Saturday, Pearl Harbor. Seriously, Dupa? Yes, seriously. Seriously, man. man. It's serious, man. Let's see here. Virgo says, you know what? You know what? You know what? Wolf says, sorry, Doc, that's incorrect. I knew somebody was going to, you just open a whole can of whoop ass there, okay? Not a whole can. Virgo's laughing. Virgo's laughing. I don't know if Virgo was around when I lit up the little only has sex with escorts boy today. He wasn't counting on the likes of me. And what he really didn't know is the only reason I came on was I knew I could light him up in like 5 minutes. Just really make him upset. I'm very tempted to play some of it for you, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, it's an inside joke. It was an inside job. Rumble Trench goes, turn on Gifted, folks. There's a show this Saturday. Come on, folks. There's a show. We're doing a show, a members-only show. So turn on your Gifted memberships. It tells how in the crawl at the bottom of the screen. And they wipe clean with a damp cloth. Let's see. Oh, yes, says Virgo. Turn on those Gifted memberships. It's coming up on the crawl. It'll tell you right at the end what to do. And then Shaka Zulu, Cobra Kai. Rumpled Trench, because Cobra Kai is a thing now. I'm making it a Cobra Kai, a thing. And I want credit later, because that's now Cobra Kai, a thing. Rumpled Trenchcoat, who is incredibly generous to this program and a very talented man and just a good egg, has done his usual great thing and gifted us 5 memberships to the Tom Gully Show. So if you turn your Gifted memberships on, you can get one of those, and then you can get into the Pearl Harbor Show on Saturday. And if not, well, you're not going to know what happened at Pearl Harbor. The Doctorn says, you're right, Wolf. I forgot to add homemade. All right. I'm glad that got settled. Hey, Dooba says Sunday. Jenna, is she in here? Did I just stupidly gloss over her? Because I don't see her in my thing here. What the hell happened here? What in the name of hooey pooey? Virgo Sapphire says Ravioli Crusher. Thanks, Rumpled. I don't see her. Did something weird? Oh, she's got a membership, but I don't believe she's here. Oh, I got you. I see what you mean. She's not here. You don't have to be here to get a membership, is what you're saying. She got gifted a membership. Well, I love Sunday Jenna and Joe and Shuli and Zen and Mike. They're great people. They might not be real happy with me right now. I don't know. They don't care about me. I'm not on their radar. To be honest with you, I've had interactions with Joe, all very positive. Of course, Sunday Jenna used to come to the show quite frequently, and we've never had a problem with her. She's an awesome person. Shuli, I've had just a few interactions with, and Mike and Zen, I just strictly what's on the air. So it's not like I'm heavily involved with them, but I do occasionally appear on Bob Levy's show, and hopefully we'll continue to do that for a long time. I very much enjoy Bob, and I think we're of the same age, and I will say that Bob was probably the most, and then I don't know what happened behind the scenes. Joe might have said, put this dummy on or something, but Bob was very, very, very much a proponent of me being on the Shuli Network and the few times I was lucky enough to appear on it. And so, I'm kind of a Bob guy, I don't mind saying it. I like Bob. I don't dislike those other guys at all, and they're very talented, and I know they're going to be successful no matter what they do. Let's see here. Juba says, sorry. No, don't be sorry. Watching the Tom Gully Show means never having to say you're sorry. Although last night's show was incredible. I wasn't incredible, but the topic was incredible, and it's the kind of show I want to do. And it seems like every time I do one that I think is going to be really well received, nobody wants it. And then I'll do one like this, and you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Terry Nee says, you're always on my radar, Tom. Always. Well, thank you. You're on my radar too, buddy. I don't actually have a radar, but let's see here. The Doctorn is a new member. Well, thank you. He must have picked up one of those new memberships or something, or maybe he just paid for it by himself. I'm not in YouTube, so I can't see who gets these memberships. So you have to tell me, because I'm blind. I'm blind. Blind. Do you hear me? Blind. Terry Nee says, you're a year younger. I'm younger than you? I thought I was older than you. Either way, it's not much of a difference. It's less than a year. Terry Nee correcting his atrocious grammar. Virgo says, great show, Tom. Hopefully see you later. Oh, you will. I'll be over there. I'll be over there, Virgo. And Virgo, I hope your new gig is going très chic, magnifique. Terry says, in case Jenna is watching, oh, hey, he's taking it out on the frog. I won't have that. I simply won't have it. Darn it, don't you do that thing you're doing right now, because I won't tolerate. Wait, okay, sorry, I get it. I take it down. Right, got it. Take it down. Doctrine says, I paid for it. I want to make sure I can be here for Saturday. I paid for it. I don't want to be beholden. But them Cajuns is that way. I don't want to be beholden to any man. I pay for my own. Don't you see? Sacre bleu. Oh, see, you're a year older than Bob. We're the same month. So technically, you're 2 weeks older than me or something like that, right? Or something of that nature. Just saying. So technically... always going to be younger than you. Always going to be younger than you. Even if I pass away right now, I'll be younger than you. Well, wait. I guess you could go first, and then but you're not gonna. I'm obviously gonna be the first one. Terry Nee is a look of anger and hatred. Look at that. That is one mad bird right there. That is one mad bird. Let's see here. The doctor says, from Cajun French to smelly French. Nice transition. I don't do what I can. The whole city of New Orleans, the whole state has to bow to New Orleans. They don't make that state. Wonton really, Every time you cook up a gumbo, it get a little better. 2-day gumbo better than 1-day gumbo. 3-day gumbo better than 2-day gumbo. He's just sitting there stirring it. Doctor, I'm going to just throw this experience into my lacanap. Didn't know I knew that word, did you? Huh? Because I'm an OG. From Arcadia, son. Anyway, kids, that's me blistering through Lawrence Welk. I think that's about all the time we have for today. I would like to thank everybody who was kind enough to donate to the show today. Rumpled Trenchcoat, this guy, he's just too kind to us. I'm trying to find a way to pay him back. I'll figure something out here as we approach the holiday season. But thank you for the $2. Thank you also, Doc Torn, for becoming a member. And thank you for, once again, Rumpled Trenchcoat, gifting 5 smoking hot memberships to the Tom Gully Show. You guys are the best. Let's see here. Terry Nee says, I enjoyed the Cajun music. I used it at Penn State to clear out a party. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You've never heard Zydeco. Zydeco. Anyway. Doctor says, tree. It's pronounced tree? I thought it was tray. I'm going to have to take a class. Dupa says, give Terry a break. Turkeys are emotional after Thanksgiving. Yeah, he's got PTSD, post-turkey stress disorder, post-Thanksgiving stress disorder. Doctrine says, Dupa for the win. Dupa, Dupa, Dupa. reminiscent of Joker. Dupa says, Terry D, you always make me laugh. Thank you. He's a funny, funny man. Terry says, thank God I don't have to financially carry Tom's show. Yeah, thank God for that. Thank God for that. Because we're really raking it in here, folks. And I, right now, just so you guys know, am trying to come to a decision or a plan where this is what I do for money. And I don't work for dumb people anymore. And I just do this because I spend, I know it's hard to tell because the show is of such a high quality, but I don't have enough time to produce the kind of show I would like to. And so I'm thinking, should I, have 8 hours a day or as many hours as I want to spend to do a real good thing? Or do I just keep limping along with this and doing something I would rather not do? I'd rather do something else. People saying hi. There we go. $1. Oh, incidentally, speaking of $1. People saying hi, people saying hi, people saying hi. Thank you so much, people saying hi, for the $1. Speaking of $1, you guys have heard me mention the Pod Awful cult. And of course, we did have Jesse P.S. from Pod Awful on the program a few weeks ago. Went 5.5 hours, I think, with him. Please check them out on YouTube or go to podawful.pizza and check them out. Think about joining. I think there's a $1 level. And if so, you should, consider the $1. But there's a lot of great stuff over there I think you'll really enjoy. More than you enjoy this. Rumple Trenchcoat says, so you're trying to work for a different group of dumb people? Yes, the dumb people I like. Let's see here. Rumple Trenchcoat says, I don't want to repeat that again. Dupa says, thank you, Tom. Thank you so much for the $5. Dupa, you are the best. You are absolutely the best. Dupa has been, when I restarted the show and all that stuff, she has been just a really awesome person. And, it ain't always easy sledding on this thing by myself, all that stuff. But Dupa and those like her, but especially Dupa, give me a little, this is going to happen. I can do this. It's going to eventually, reach the right people. Because that's the thing now. But thank you, Dupa. You are the best. Doc Torn says, Tom's planning on making this pay to play. Don't tell nobody. It's a secret. Well, it's a secret that I just made up. Those are the best kind. Those are the best kind. Because Cobra Kai, which is now a thing. That's a thing. And I want credit for the thing. I don't just want it to be a thing. And as a matter of fact, if I don't get credit for it, then I don't want it to be a thing. But it's a thing. Anyway, I know you guys have many, many entertainment opportunities and alternatives during your midweek. And I just want to thank you for flying with the Tom Gully Show. We know you have choices. And your connecting flight information can be accessed at the gate. But I'm looking over there, and that old clock on the wall says, well, like the Reverend Al Green, it's time for me to get on up out of here. You. Yeah, I'm looking at you. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So with all that... Oh, man. Interrupted the end of the show. The Doc Dorn, who's just a wonderful guy, he's a good friend of mine. He says, Cobra Kai! And thank you for the $5, Doc Dorn. That is very much appreciated, and thank you. And I hope your thing's going well. That thing that I'm not going to jinx by talking about. The Wolf says there will be a Karate Kid release with Jackie Chan as Mr. Miyagi. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Leave it alone. Rumple Trenchcoat says putting Trey in upright lock position. That's the best place to have it, really. Cobra Kai! Anyway. All right. Oh, boy. With all that being said, I think the only thing left to say other than we got to find Brad is, oh, God, man, that is so cool. Look at Dupa made. Look at that. That is a Cobra Kai. It's almost like, they made a ball and made it stand. Body swaying from the hand. Anyway. Till next time. We'll see you next time.